Growing your channel, subscribe now. TVR Universe! I'm Dave from TVR Creators and I make weekly YouTube tips how you build your brand. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. There is so much going on today. I'm going to be looking at giving you the best value, and this is what I'm here to do, to give you value. Now, something I want to share with you guys is an event that I found out about the other day. It's called CES, and it's an event that's been happening over in Vegas in America. And obviously, because of the pandemic and what's been going on, a lot of it, probably all of it, has been streamed on Zoom and all the rest of it, though I believe there was some events. Now, basically, if you've never heard of it, it's basically like a tech event where all the big companies get together and share all their great tech and ideas, and, you know, and it gives you a bit of an insight into the future of what's coming our way. Now, some of the things that grabbed my eye personally was, you know, all the top computer companies are bringing out some awesome gaming laptops. There's a robot that pours wine for you, which I thought was quite funny. And also something that actually grabbed my attention, which I thought was interesting with the current climates at the moment, a really high-tech, probably very expensive mask, which is like, it looks like something of, you know, a Batman film or something. It was literally like, and apparently it filters out about 98% of, you know, viruses and any untoxic things in the air, and it comes with all sort of cool lights, and you can customize it, and it just looked really cool. And as you know, we have no idea where, you know, the world is going. You know, it's something that people may look at. I just thought that was really cool. So this is a really cool event. If those of you that watch this video, if you're here for that, write in the comments or in the live stream if you've seen any of it, if there's any tech that you found interesting. I would love to see your comments. And one more thing I want to mention about that actually is basically there's what's called a roll screen. So obviously on your mobile phone, some of you may have seen they've started doing like fold phones and stuff like that. And what's really impressive, they're doing like stretchy screens now that sort of roll out, and they start a certain size and they can be stretched to become bigger depending on your need. I just thought that was really impressive. So it's really cool to see that we're, you know, boldly going where no one's going before in a sense of tech. But let's crack on with the value for here at TVR Creators.
You're going to get value from this video.
Alright, just before we get started, let's see if there's anyone in live stream. Hello! Boom, boom, boom. Oh, well done. I hit that reboot. Yes, welcome Sam, and anyone else who's watching live. Oh, well done, that sounds awesome. And yes, let's send you one of those robots to pour you some wine. Why the hell not? That's brilliant. So let's crack on with tonight's value. I've got a really cool list of some gear. Some of you may or may not know about it. I've picked out some things that you may find useful here in 2021. And if you're new to TVR Creators, this will be really new for you. So hopefully lots of value and lots of interesting things. Now, if I've got any cam issues or mic issues, please let me know in the comments. Apparently, all is gravy. Right, so the first thing I wanted to share with you guys today, as the fates have decided to make my voice start to go literally seconds before going live. Wow. But let's see how we go. So let's look at tripods then. And I would highly recommend, now, you know, it's very easy to see, you know, these cheap tripods, and I have said in previous live streams, I know that these cheap ones are good and there's nothing wrong with them, but I've noticed recently, especially on Amazon, you know, nothing against Amazon, I love Amazon, but a lot of the cheaper tripods are only 50 inches. You might think, well, you know, that's all right, but actually that's not actually that big. And unless you're, you know, a smaller person, shall we say, I wouldn't say that was very useful, but I have seen 65 to 70 inch tripods on eBay, so I would, you know, recommend checking them out. But let's just stay here for the moment. See, that's 42. That's quite a good one. And what was the one I was looking for earlier? That looks really cool, but obviously that's, well, you know, it depends how much money you want to spend. But that's not the one I wanted to show you guys. And it has, there it is. So this is the type of tripod. You may have seen similar types before, but this is basically the style tripod. I'm not using it tonight, but the type of tripod I use, I think it's the same make, that I use literally every week for my weekly Tuesday videos. And if you've seen them, you'll know they are awesome and bring value. And these are really cool. What I like about these is it's still quite light, even though it's a bit heavier. Okay, it costs a little bit more, but the price goes up and down. This is something, a little tip that I want you to bear in mind if you don't already know this. The prices, especially on Amazon, I find change on a daily basis. So just bear that in mind. So they go up by £5–10 every day, or even £100 every day, depending on how expensive the item is. But anyway, what I love about this tripod, the value that it brings, has these nice little grips that are really cool. And it comes with a phone mount, because I know a lot of you creators out there are using your phone, and that's fantastic, because a phone is still a great tool. But you know, I would recommend a tripod. Should definitely, if you haven't already got one, I would highly recommend getting a tripod that comes with a phone mount. If not, you can buy it separately. There's for literally everything I'm talking about tonight, there are links in my descriptions to check them out after the video. But what I really like, the value of this type of tripod, is it comes with like a detachable selfie stick, which is really cool. I could show it to you, but there's probably not enough room in the screen, but if you can see it on the picture there, so it basically just pops off and you can use it as a selfie stick. So that's really cool if you're moving around, or if you want to do like an action shot, especially if you're someone out there who's watching tonight perhaps, especially if you're someone that makes short films, or you want to be a bit more creative with the camera. But if you want to do static shots, you put it back on and it becomes a tripod. And what I love about this one, if I'm not mistaken, yes, it's 70 inches, which is just shy of 2 meters, just about. So that gives a good height, and if possible, I would recommend getting a tripod about your height level if possible, or slightly higher. And the reason I recommend that for using your phone or camera is because I just find, personally for me anyway, and it just looks better, looks more professional, and it makes you look better on camera. You see a lot of people, especially since, you know, in the news and stuff, where you get random people with a, you know, their webcam or their laptop camera or whatever, and it's all down here, and you know, it's sort of looking up their nose and all the rest of it. It doesn't look it doesn't look the best of views. So you want to make yourself look as nice as possible. That's my just personal opinion, and it just looks more professional. So you want an eye level or higher, unless you're purposely going for, you know, a shining feel, if you get that reference. So anyway, that is a brilliant tripod, gives lots of value, but you don't have to spend £50. Though I have seen that, cheaper than that. I would also recommend one of these with the lights round that you can put on top of a table, a sideboard. They really do give value. I would still highly recommend, see if you can get one over 50 inches. That isn't too bad. That might be alright. 66. That comes with a mount. And oh, see, here's one for you. £35. That's brilliant. This comes with a phone mount, which is brilliant. It can go both ways. Just another little tip for you guys, I would highly recommend when you're filming with your phone to do it horizontal, because it fills the frame and it just looks more professional. There's so many people, and there's nothing wrong with it, they want to do stories or shorts videos, that they have their phone upright. And I do it myself sometimes if I'm just doing a brief video on social. But you know, if you want your video to look more professional, I would recommend, as shown here, put your phone horizontal. It just looks better and more professional. But this is only £35. This is a nice little tripod. The only thing that would hold me back personally is I don't like tripods. I'm using one now with the webcam on, where you have to crank it up. I don't like that. For me, it takes too long. I like ones where, see that little screw there, you can just unscrew it. A bit like the tripod I just showed you a second ago, and you can just unscrew it and it just pops down a bit like a mortar. But if you don't mind, you know, wind it up and down, that's just the top bit to just give you a bit of extra height, which all tripods have. But if you don't care about that, that's fine. I would say that this tripod is value. £35, that's really good. And for 66 inches, that's quite a nice height for a still fairly cheap tripod. So I would highly recommend something like that. Now, Obviously, you know, if you don't want to spend that, there's 55 inches there. If you think that's fine, that's got a mount on it, which is a horizontal one, a bit more basic, but you can always buy a better mount, which they only cost about £6, so they don't break the bank. I'm just seeing the sizes here. There's all sorts of sizes. But, you know, if you just want something basic, there's absolute nothing wrong with, again, going for a £15 tripod at 50 inches. And let's just have a brief look on eBay, because I'm pretty certain if you want to get something really cheap, I'm giving you value now. I don't have any links for eBay, but I'm doing this because I care about you guys. I really do. And I know there's loads of people out there that say that. So see, but I generally do mean it. And I'm sure you core fans will agree with that. So straight away, you can get one for about a tenner. I would just check to see the height of that. Let's just have a brief look. I would check the reviews, 99% positive. Apparently, oh, it's only 42 inches. That's probably a little bit too small. Hey, ladies, stop smiling. I would personally... There you go, look at that. That's a tripod. It has a crack thing on. But that's not bad. I don't know what the height of it is. It would be nice if it said. But by the look of it, that's probably a pretty good tripod, and it's only £20. So it does show you can get some really good value if you just shop around. Now I know there's probably loads of you out there who go, yes Dave, I get deals, well, you know, all the time, but you'll be surprised how many people get complete ED, as I call it, over value. Hooray. Hooray, hooray, hooray.
So if you're getting value from this video and you're enjoying the content, please give us a like and a share and subscribe to this channel.
Hooray! So if you're just joining us, if you're watching this live, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I bring you weekly value to help you build your brand. And as I've literally just said, subscribe if that sounds awesome to you. Now I've looked at a few little tripods. There's one or two, there's a blue one. Oh, there's a blue tripod. So the one I just showed you, apparently, there is a blue one. I'm not going to look for that now unless you want me to. What do I mean by blue one? Apparently I really wanted to show you guys this blue tripod. I don't know why that is. Why is that? Come on, Dave. Why do you want to show the people of the world the blue tripod? That orange one just looked pretty awesome. Give this video a like if you think that orange tripod. It's quite expensive what it is, but look at the things you can do on it. That's a real nice tripod. But anyway, where's this blue one? Well, basically, the blue one that I put a little note down is basically like the first one I showed you, but it's blue and I don't think it comes off. There's another good one. £40. It proves to look around, and this has the selfie stick. And what is the make of mine? No, that's that one. See, that's again that comes off like a selfie stick. This is pretty much like the one I've got, and it has the little turn thing, so you don't have to just waste time cranking it up. So it just pops in and out or whatever. That's nice little handle. That's pretty much like the one I've got. Mine's just a different make. But for £40, that's really good. And what I like about these ones, they're just a bit more heavy duty. But saying that, those cheap ones that I showed you earlier as well, I've had one of them. I'm using it now to hold my microphone. I've had one of them, as some of you may know, for 15, 18 years or whatever it is now. And it's still pretty much as I bought it. So, you know, if you look after it, it's like anything, isn't it? Right, so let's go to something else. Boom, boom, boom. Let's look at my favourite thing in the world, value. What's he putting in? What's he putting in? He can't resist but to look at cameras. Oh yes, value. Let's just have a brief look to see what's going on. Okay, so I would highly recommend camera choice. For me personally, now you can get awesome deals with SD cards and microphones, but I personally would just buy stuff as you need it. Now I know there's some of you out there that literally, you know, will buy 50 microphones and have 10 tripods, and to be honest, I can't talk. But if you're just getting started or you're still fairly new to this, I would just buy things as you need them. But if you are really looking at a camera, this is something that I mention all the time, and I'm going to mention it again, is hey, that's a good deal actually. That one comes with the battery and a cap and an extra little string apparently. though I'm pretty sure they all do. But basically what I'm getting at is you want the Canon M50. There's a link to this in the description, and for those of you that explore YouTube, I would highly recommend watching people within your niche. I would highly recommend watching people that make the type of videos that you enjoy. So that gives you ideas for when you make your own videos. I really, if you're doing that already, double thumbs up to you guys. If you're not, after this video and over the weekend, please do that, because you just learn from people as you watch them, and you will pick up, especially if you watch people that do the sort of things I do about content creation and building on YouTube and film work and video content and all that sort of stuff. You will notice that quite a lot of them, probably 80% of them, will use the Canon M50. It's an absolute brilliant camera, and even in 2021 I highly recommend it. Now there is a Mark II of this that is around, but I haven't actually seen it for sale anywhere, so it must be just in America still. So but look out for that. There is actually a Mark VI, which is actually more expensive, but you're talking, you know, it's pretty much $1,000. So unless you want to spend $1,000 on a camera, but this, okay, you know, for some of you, 600 probably is a lot, but this is a long-term investment. It records in 4K, but I will note you, if my memory serves me correct, that's only at 30 frames per second. So if you want to future-proof yourself, you might want to look at maybe one of the Sonys that film in full 4K. But if you're like me and happy with HD, I would highly recommend the Canon M50. I use it to do all my Tuesday videos. If I'm doing B-roll, I still use it for that. I use it for all sorts of things, photography. If you just want a great photography camera, I'll get to that in a moment, but I would, you know, I'd recommend the Canon M50. It's an absolute brilliant camera. Bear with me with some awesome value that I want to share with the core fans in a moment, but I cannot highlight how much it is an awesome camera. If you've seen the quality of my Tuesday videos, that is the M50, and it's not even on its best settings. That's just literally on just auto settings, so you can really customize it. And the lens it comes with is here, the kit lens, the 15-45mm lens, is an absolute brilliant camera and gives you, come on, say it all together now, and gives you value. It's brilliant because of that. It gives you a wide angle, which is great for, you know, if you're doing blogs, or if you're filming close to you, or if you want to do a really nice Pam shot of scenery or take pictures of scenery. So you want that 15mm, and the 45 just gives us that nice little zoom if you want it. I find personally for photography anyway, I find 15 if you want a wide angle of a field, but I find if you just move it round to sort of 24, 28, that gives a really nice frame. This lens just has a lot of customizable creativity value, if you will, if that even makes sense. But hopefully you know what I mean. But yeah, I just love this camera. And if you want to be serious, and something this camera has that a lot of cameras don't have unless you spend £800,000 up, is a external microphone jack, which is something to bear in mind. Now obviously most of your phones have it, but if you want to buy a camera, unless you literally spend 500-600 up, for whatever reason a lot of them just don't have a microphone jack. It's almost like they're just designed for just blogging, or they're just designed for, you know, photography in general. But obviously what's great about the M50, annoyingly it doesn't show in the pictures. I'll see if I can find a better picture for you briefly. Come on, be nice to me, be nice to me. No, it's not going to do it, is it? But basically you've probably seen in my M50 video, check it out after this video, it has a fantastic flip screen which can turn around so you can see what you're filming, photography or film wise. You can obviously take off the lens, which you obviously can't do, you know, properly with your phone, which is brilliant. And you can, you know, use older Canon lenses, or you can actually get non-branded ones for a cheaper price that are almost as good. You can get smaller, bigger lenses, you know what I mean? There's a lot of customization you can do with a mirrorless camera, and there isn't many cameras as good as the M50 for that price without spending £800,000-900,000, and that is the brutal truth. If you want to get I think it's called the 2D or the 6D, you know, you're talking, let's just have a brief look. Is it 2D? Is it 2D? No. Was it 6D? I lose track. There's so many of them now. Yeah, so look, you're looking at, that's a 90D, sorry, but there's about 50 on the camera. But look, you're looking at 1500. So there's a big difference between 1500 and that. But let's just look at the Mark II. See, that's 400. That's a Mark II. But this is more of a, even though it says, it even says video camera, video logging and full HD, 60 frames per second. But I'm pretty certain that it has no mic jack. So if you want, but if you just want what I would call a thumbnail camera, you want a camera good for photography, or you just want to do blogging, or if you're not filming outside, because that's when you really need an external microphone, bear that in mind as another note. Get a pad, write this down if you're not already. I would highly recommend the, what's it called? The M200. Now, I'm going to give you some great, I did promise you some value, which I'll give you in a second. Now, if you want to spend a little less, you can get the Canon M200, which has just replaced the Canon M100, and I believe you can only buy my marketplace or other sites because it's obviously outdated. And I will show you a little cheat to that in a minute. But the Canon M200 is a brilliant camera. It's much cheaper, you know, you're talking 500. I've seen them again on eBay for sort of 400. Just be careful though that, you know, it's not dodgy or anything. Just use your own initiative and look at the reviews, the feedback, you know, that sort of thing. But this is a great little camera. It has a nice little flash on it. It has the same lens as the Canon M50. It records almost in good quality, but obviously doesn't quite have as many features. Sorry. It does have a turn screen, I believe. Let's see if there's a picture of it. Yep, it just, there you go. It flips. Now, on the M50, it flips sideways, which is really good if you want to put a microphone on top of it. But with the M200, it flips upwards, and I believe the Sonys do that as well. So it's down to what you like. So if you've got nowhere to put your microphone, or if you like me use a clip-on microphone, maybe won't matter. But if you want to put your shotgun mic on top of your camera, you may want to go again with the Canon M50 where the screen goes to the side. Otherwise, you have to spend more money on some sort of rack where you can put the camera inside and, you know, mess about with that sort of thing. But bear this in mind, you know, you might be perfectly happy with a screen that goes up. And it, like I said, if you're just doing thumbnails, photography, you're just blogging, you know, you don't want to go over the top, then this could be for you. Now, for you core fans, this is for you. For those of you that are watching, I want to give you some value now. This is something I'm been really playing with all over Christmas. I'm so tempted, and now it's going to make me look like a liar, like it's disappeared. Oh, come on. It was literally here last night. Well, you can see there are M100s for just over 100 to 200, which is really... here we go. Woo! I'm saved. Argus for UK people. You could probably buy it abroad, but more for UK people. This is value. Please do not go anywhere. This is brilliant, because this is brilliant. This is great value. This is the Canon M100, which has only really just been replaced, only 300, and it comes, bear in mind, it comes with two lenses. One which is the 15 to 45, which is the same one as the M50, and it also comes with a 22mm if you want to be very Pacific. But you know, and you think if you was to buy one of those lenses, they would be easily, especially if you bought them from a normal store or online on Amazon, etc., you're easily talking 100, 150, possibly even more than that, just for the lens. So bear in mind what you're getting. You're getting a 100, 200 pound camera plus probably 200-300 quid's worth of lens gear for 300 quid. So the value of that is brilliant. So why I've not bought that, I don't know. I'm just being too sensible. But believe me, all over Christmas, I have been debating this deal. Just because it's value, and this is not sponsored in any way. I've not got any links to this particular thing. It's just something I want to bring to your attention if you haven't heard about it already. It's absolute value. Hooray.
You're going to get value from this video.
Hooray! So if you're going to just join us, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. I make weekly YouTube tips how you build your brand. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. And I'll just briefly, if you're still watching, all you great people, I just want to do a little shout out to Sam, who's just recently got one of my awesome mugs. And value. She got the hashtag drink more, which for those of you that watch every week will know it's a joke we started where sometimes I need to drink some water because I talk too damn much. And I just want to say I'm really glad that you enjoy your mug and thank you for your support on a weekly basis and the fact that you got one of our merch which helps support the brand. So thank you so much for that, Sam. You personally rock. Let's see if you are in the Thank you. I'm very passionate about cameras. Can you tell? It's definitely my favourite part of content creation. So, and I hope you heard that shout out because I genuinely meant it. Yeah. So I think the M200 is great, but to save yourself £100 or even £200, I personally would go with the M100. So, you know, if you're asking my advice, if you want full-blown, you know, microphones and value and interchangeable lenses and, you know, a really cool flip sideways screen, I would personally still go with a Canon M50. If I was going to go for a second camera, or if I just want to do blogging, or maybe, you know, if you just want to do photography, or maybe you just want to do a bit of blogging, a bit of photography, then personally I would probably go with a Canon M100. Boom, boom, boom. I'm briefly looking at lighting. Let's look at lighting kit. Let's see where it comes up. Hopefully nothing dodgy. Right, I do have a link to this, I believe. I would highly recommend this if you've got the space. If you haven't, then don't. But I would highly recommend this if you've got, I don't know, a big spare room or garage or an attic or wherever. If you've got like a bit of room where you can maybe set this up, or if you can't always have it up, you've got a bit of room where you could put up a few lights, I would highly recommend this as like a starter kit. And it does cost 180, but if you think of what you get and the value that you get, it is value. So you, in this particular kit, you get the backdrop, in 3 different colours: green for doing green screen, white if you want white, and black if you want black. A little tip actually that my friend introduced me to, was just an idea, and I think it's brilliant. This is what I do for this one here on this side. This side's just a drape or curtain, but on this side this is actually a double bed cover. And what I like about it, it's don't use a bed sheet because it'd be too thin, but what's great about a cover, obviously you can use any pattern you want, but it just hangs nicely. It's thick enough so it's not see-through, and you know, it just looks really professional. So you know, if you like that, that's literally just a bed cover. So you could get this backdrop, because that's why I got one of the backdrops, and I literally just use that bed cover and I just use it like a backdrop, and it's brilliant. But with this you get 2 softbox lights. I've got 2 of them, different make, but that doesn't matter. And if you want to go proper old school, you've also got 2 umbrella lights, and they come with these brilliant, I'll just show you quickly, these brilliant lamps. My old theatre man, God rest his soul, would shoot me if I called them bulbs. He said, "No, David, bulbs they grow in the ground." He was like, "No, they're lamps." So just for this moment, they're lamps, all right. So don't say them otherwise. But these are brilliant. These are professional lamps, and you can buy these at any point for probably, I don't know, £10-20 or something like that. And I've had 2, and fingers crossed, touch wood, and they haven't gone yet, and I've been using them now for about a year or so, and I've got at least 1 spare. So, and you can easily buy a pack of them, and I would just type in lighting kits and stuff and the bulb will come up. But if you don't want that, that's fine. There are cheaper ones, that's 170, or you could, going back to what I said earlier, to bring you guys value, hashtag drink more, buy stuff as you go along. So you could just say, "Dave, I just need a couple of lights." I know at least 1 or 2 of you have just got a light, and that's fine. You know, a set of 2 here for 40 quid. I would just bear in mind how tall they are, but that should be fine. There's a 70 quid one, and they both get good reviews. That's got over 900, 4.5 stars. That would probably be all right. This would be value. This is the sort of thing I've got, and yes, it's the same make. So there is a link to this in the description if you haven't got one already. But if you have got one, I'm sure you'll back me up and say, hello new person. Sorry if you've been here before. Welcome. I would definitely say that this is value. That's brilliant. I think it cost me, oh, I can't remember now. It was probably more like 60, 70 quid when I bought them, and so this is a brilliant bargain at the moment, and you could argue a January sale, and these have been brilliant. This is basically the same two I've got, and they've been brilliant. Really good. Really good. Now if you don't want them, you can get something more complex. What would actually, if you're somebody that money is no object, or you want something different, this is something perhaps I should have got, is these sort of flat lights. If you're a bit like me and you haven't always got as much space as you wish you had, though I have got my own studio now, but sometimes I wish I had more space. And what's cool about these, they on the average they cost a bit more, but you can actually customize the level light. So if they're too bright, you can turn them down a bit. You can change the colors with filters and stuff like that, and also you can turn the heat down. And more importantly, they're flat and much smaller, so they take up less room. So that could be something you might want to think about when you're setting up your sets and stuff like that. There's lots of things you can get. You can get gels for them, mini ones. And this is quite an expensive one, but you can change all sorts of colouring, the temperature, how bright it is. And again, because it's flat, it doesn't pull off too much more. And something actually, which I do have a link to, and this is something you should get. Let's see if we can find them. I can never remember what to call them. Studio grips. Let's call it that. Here we go. I do have a link to this in the description, and these will come if you get yourself some sort of backdrop sets. They will probably come with 3 or 4 anyway. But I keep meaning to buy some more for £10 roughly. Great bit of value. How many's in this? 8. Highly recommend it. It's amazing how these grips come in handy. So like when I'm doing my backdrops, you know, to hold up your backdrop on your frame. You probably can't see it, but I've actually got another one, so it all joins together with the other backdrop, so it all feels like part of the same. And sometimes I just use them to, like, I don't know, if I've got cables in the way, it's really handy just to have a grip to go, oh, get out of the way, and you just get a grip and you just grip a cable out of the way when I'm using HDMI cables for cameras and stuff like that. So it's amazing how these come in handy. So I would highly recommend. This isn't something you have to rush to get. Again, like I said, I've got a link to this in the description. Go and check it out. But I would highly recommend to get these at some point. If you don't, it doesn't matter. You can be resourceful and use elastic bands. But I just think these are just a great bit of value. There's a silly little tool, something that most people probably don't even think about. But it's amazing how handy they are. Now, if we're just looking at this then, I'll be back in a sec.
You're going to get value from this video. Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now.
Welcome back. Come on, hashtag drink more Dave. Value. So let's look at shotgun microphones. Alright. Right, let's do that, and then that's that. Now this is something. Now, sorry, if you think about what I was on about earlier with the M50, I would highly recommend getting yourself either a clip-on microphone or a shotgun mic, and it's completely up to you. If you're interested, I can show you what I got. I sort of got something like that. My one gets pushed down more and more because it's cheaper, but mine only costs about £15–20. It was something like that, but cheaper than that. If you want, just say something like that, but mine was about £20. And what's really cool about that is you can, as you can see here, this is a good showing of it. So say you've got a camera, doesn't really matter which one, and you can see here that the shotgun mic fits on top of the camera, and this is really good with things like the Canon M50 and more expensive cameras. You can clip the shotgun mic on top, and as long as you're no further than say a meter, the sound quality is brilliant. Now if you're further away or outside, obviously you want to put the foam on it. You want to put the foam make sure the foam is over the mic head, and that's basically to cut out the wind noise. So when you're out and about, you haven't got that, and it's really frustrating. I learned that the hard way when making loads of films. I used to make a lot of films back in the day, only till about a year ago, and that's not saying I'm not going to do that again. I'm just saying, just thinking out loud. But if you're filming outside in any way, short films, blogs, content for YouTube, family videos, weddings, whatever you're filming, I would highly recommend an external microphone. And if you're recording sound further away, you might want to get yourself a second tripod. Clip the shotgun mic on top of the second tripod so you can get it within like a foot or so. Don't get too close, otherwise it sounds like hello, you know, that sort of thing. And it sounds, you know, but then again, if you want that effect, that's fine. But you know, for good sound quality, I try to make my mic about a foot away, and that gives the best value. And always remember that half of any video or content that you make is audio, and this is why microphones are highly important, so just bear that in mind. And I do have a link to one or two of these in the description. Now, something else I would recommend, is it going to come up with it? And obviously if you're doing podcasts, you might want to get one of these. I'm not going to look at them at the moment, just because I think as a content creator, they're called lapel mics, but I just call them clip-on mics. It doesn't really matter. The one I always share a lot, you've probably seen on my Twitter feed, because I just think it's really cool. It's this little one here. It's only a tenner, and the sound quality is when you talk, it's literally like this. Hello, I'm Dave, and you know, it has really good sound quality. I've got one or two of them flown about, and you can get wireless ones as well. Same principle applies. A little foam on top of it if you're filming outside, or if you just want to, you know, in case you actually blow on it by accident. But the sound quality for £10, and you can use this with your phone or your camera, they're absolutely brilliant. And what I like about this one, it just has a slightly different jack that you can just connect to it in case it doesn't quite fit for whatever reason. So that's cool. So, and you can clip this on, you know, yourself when you're talking, whatever you're filming, you know, when you're watching like the news and stuff. And what I tend to do actually, in not all, but in quite a lot of my Tuesday videos, I will just clip this onto a second tripod, put it about a foot away out of camera shot, and the sound quality is so much better. Now bear in mind, you do have an internal microphone on your phone or camera, but you know, compared to, you know, if you was to film that and then film the same footage with especially a clip-on microphone but it's really close to you, the sound quality is just worlds apart. And I think, you know, for those of you that do this already, I'm sure you will agree that that brings your content value. And ultimately, when you're doing your work, doing your content, your videos on your channel, regardless of what the niche and whatever you're talking about, that is what the type of thing that you want to bring.
You're going to get value from this video.
So if you're getting value from this video and you're enjoying the content, please give us a like and a share and subscribe to this channel.
Alright, so are you getting value? If you are, smash that like button, subscribe and share this video with family and friends. We looked so far, if you're only sure, we've looked at tripods, we looked at lighting. Obviously, you probably knows how passionate I am about cameras. I could probably just have a video talking all night about cameras, but don't worry, I won't. Well, then again, I might do. If you guys want that, put that in the comments below. If you've got any questions, put them in the questions. Studio grip, I've looked at them. Oh, SD cards. All right. Let's just see what's going on. Yes, that's very true. Very true. Sorry, I just read the comments there. Very true. If you've got poor, a bit like last week when it took me 7 minutes to realise the microphone wasn't working, people will switch off. It's very true. If someone knows you've got poor quality audio, or muffly, or it's quiet, or whatever it is, people will switch off and they'll be like, yeah, see ya. And so just bear that in mind. Even if you're in a dark room because for whatever reason you're not great lighting, or you're still getting used to the camera, or whatever the excuse is, if you've got a good audio, people will sort of let you off. So that's a really good point. Really good point. That just gave me value. You know what? Let's drink to that. Let's all drink to that, guys. Oh, value. Right, let's look at SD cards. Woohoo! Now, it's probably very confusing for a lot of you. Oh my God, what do I buy? What SD card do I buy, man? Do not panic. I would recommend, let's just see if we can find, I'll just recommend one of these. An extreme SD card. And it doesn't even have to be that big. I'm going to copy and paste that now. Just bear with me a second. Extreme 32. I did a brief shorts video about this the other week. And look, for under a tenner, right, and this is for video or photography, and basically the megabits per second, the faster that is, it just means it saves it quicker. And if you're doing like, 140 frames per second or something ridiculous, if you're doing fast video, it will make the quality of that better. Or if you're someone that wants to take lots of pictures, your camera won't get scared, hopefully, so be able to do it. It just helps with that. So that's all that really means. So, and don't worry about all the other stuff. But basically, I personally would say that a 16, say 32, for argument's sake, let's go with 32, nice safe size. If you want to spend more and get a bigger one, that's fine. But I personally find 32 is more than big enough. I quite often will have, 3 or 4 videos and loads of photos on there before I go, oh, I need to start deleting stuff. So just bear that in mind. So obviously, if you got 128 gigabyte one, you could probably make a few months of video before you even go, oh crap, I need to delete some stuff. So just bear that in mind. But I personally think the sweet spot, if you will, is 32 GB for me personally. But like I said, if you only want 16, I've got another camera that's only got 16 when I'm taking pictures on. It's more than fine. But obviously you can get 64 and 28. You can go higher if you want. It's all down to how much money you really want to spend. But just make sure it's a nice extreme card. I recommend roughly about 90 megabits per second. But again, don't worry too much about all this. It's just the style of card that it is. Most of your cameras won't care. But if you just get the extreme card, it will have that. They're all sort of roughly the same. You can get different ones, but don't worry too much. So just get an extreme card, 9 frames per second. 32 GB, and that will bring your content value. This is really good for photography and video. I would highly recommend that. So just sort of bear that in mind. Absolute value. All right, let's just briefly, I just want to share with you my merch. If we just go to here briefly, so you'll be able to see in the bottom left of the screen, if I've got that right, where that is my merch. There is a link to my merch in the description. Feel free to go and check it out. For those of you that have already bought one of our merch, thank you so much. I appreciate it massively. But if you want to support the brand as a newbie or whatever, feel free to go and check out that. I occasionally like to add new content, which is what I've done recently. Got a new t-shirt, mug design, I've updated a few mugs. Like I said earlier, you Sam, you bought that mug. Thank you so much again. That really does mean a lot. And there you go. And also there's other ways you can support the brand, just by liking, commenting, sharing this video or any of my videos with all your family and friends. That will bring me value. So let's grow TVR creators together. Let's make the TVR universe the biggest brand in the world, because you guys rock. And on that note, on that bombshell, that is today's live stream. So I'm basically going to say, has anyone got any questions just before I go? Feel free to throw out some questions. Pink, get value. You oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. You've got a get value and a drink more. You doubly rock. That's got to be what, 500 points to Gryffindor right there. So yes, you are awesome. You are. And go and check out Sam's live DJ set on Tuesday from between 8 and 10, because she rocks. So go and check her out on Mixcloud. Go and check it out. Just type in Henig Cuts. Exactly. No. You bring me value, Sam. You bring me value. Oh dear. Right, so on that bombshell, I'm going to say goodbye. If you've got any questions, knock them in the comments after the live stream, or You can find TVR creators on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Go and check out our awesome Facebook community where you can share your own content. And those of you that have been doing so, keep doing it because it's awesome, brings me value and the world value. So keep doing it. And whatever it is that you do, if you're watching this live, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. If you watch this down the road, thank you for watching this over the weekend or whenever you watch this video. If you're a content creator, just keep plugging, keep going, keep doing. If you're DJ, gamer, musician, whatever it is that you do, bring value to your audience, solve problems, bring value, and just bring joy to the people around you. So if you don't take anything else from tonight's video, just bring value to the people that you do your content for. There you go. So anyway, so thank you so much again for watching. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to drink some actual drink in a minute. Value. Anyway, on that bombshell, thank you so much again. You all absolutely rock. See you on my Tuesday video at 7 o'clock. And as always, guys, you guys rock.
Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now.